Good day, everyone, and thank you for coming back to another lesson. And this week, Parshat Beshalach. Well, in this parsha, we'll have some very interesting questions. The question number one will be, after the Exodus, Yetziat Mitzrayim, getting out of the Mitzraim, getting out of the limitation, we still have to learn a lot of lessons. It's not ending there. So what are we supposed to learn after that? Second, what is the next lesson after the Yetziat Mitzrayim? Next is, what is our ultimate weapon in order to fight all kind of difficulties and limitations that we encounter in daily life? And once we figure out what is the weapon, how do we use it properly? And we're going to answer this next. Welcome back, everybody. So the parsha starts like this. After Bnei Israel left Egypt and arrived to Yam Suf and saw the Egyptian chasing after them, they got very scared and they started screaming to Hashem. Right there's a problem. The first problem is you got out of Egypt. You got out of your limitations. The first sign of a problem, suddenly you lose your wits. You don't know what to do. But thankfully, they knew that there is something that they automatically, by nature, automatically did. And that is calling to Hashem. And they did that. And they were very scared. That's another problem. A person that have a total bitachon, total emuna in Hashem, shouldn't be afraid. Even Rabbi Nachman in Breslov said, Va'ikar lo lefachet klal. You're not supposed to be afraid. You have to have bitachon. And when you have bitachon, Hashem wants to help you. It's not a question if Hashem wants to help you. Hashem loves you more than you can imagine. This scream to Hashem is really not understood because the Eibishter promised them that he's going to bring them to Eretz Israel. And that a second ago, a few days ago, they just saw many miracles happening to them, things that above nature in the Exodus itself. And if so, Bnei Israel should have trusted that this shall pass also. And one of the two things, if they believe in the promise of the Eibishter, then they didn't have any need to pray, because there's no doubt that the Eibishter will fulfill his promise and will save them from the hands of the Egyptians. And if at the same time they had some doubts in the ability of the Eibishter to save them, then what's the use of davening? If you don't have the emunah, if you don't have the belief, the proper belief, then what's the point? So Rashi answered these questions in the explaining, when he explained the words Vaitzaku. What do you mean Vaitzaku? He says, at that time, Bnei Israel took the specialty of their forefathers. And what was the specialty? That was crying to Hashem and daven. That is the ultimate weapon. Your connection to the Eibishter makes you invincible, make you all-powerful. Why? Because you're connected to the infinite. So no limitation can have any hold on it. So now Rashi also explained the essence of the davening and the crying of Bnei Israel to Hashem. This craft is constant. How the man constantly deal with that. Meaning, when you do something as a hobby, you do it once in a while. But when you are something that you are specialist, it's something that you do so many times that you are an expert on that. And when you daven, every time you daven, you should at least try that your daven become more and more professional, more and more accurate, more and more proper with the proper kavanah. So an art, a specialty, is when a person does it on a regular basis. That is his way. That's how he used to, and that's how he behaves in all times. Our forefathers, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, used to pray to Hashem as a habit and constantly. And davening was their craft. They daven to Hashem not only when they needed him, when they have any trouble or problem, but also when they had a spiritual elevation. Kos Yeshuotesa u'b'shem Hashem ekra, says David HaMelech. And they daven it in every time, every situation, regardless if the situation is classified by us as good or bad. And Rashi brings on that several examples. That was the essence of their davening and their cry of Bnei Israel when they saw the Egyptian chasing after them. A natural prayer from a very deep-rooted habit that for sure they believed that Hashem is going to save them, and they trusted his promise to save them and to bring them to Eretz Israel. But when they felt the need to be closer to Hashem, then they took the specialty, the art form, the craft of their forefather, and daven. And even though after that they start complaining, oh, there's not enough graves in Egypt that you bring us to be killed in the desert, it looks like that those things did not come from lack of belief, but as the nature of humans in the time of problem, in the time of difficulty. Then they unload the pain that they feel with harsh words. That's why you say that you cannot judge a person when he's in a tough situation. Sometimes he says things not because he hates or he's angry, but he's trying to unload deep pain that he cannot bear it anymore. So he says it in words that he gets some kind of relief. So Chazal said, En adam nitfas b'shat tzaro. You cannot judge a person in the time of his sorrow, because in that time he can say things that does not fit to his level, to his belief, and to his understanding. And that's why it's clear that even though Bnei Israel complained and were upset, but still it did not diminish the fact that they believed in Hashem and daven because of a habit to hold in the craft of their forefathers. From here, we can learn how a Jew really supposed to daven and learn Torah. The davening, the learning of Torah need to be in the level of a craft, an art, that we always do it. We always used to it. It's so natural to us to do so that we don't need to require to do so. We just do it naturally, meaning it's not enough to learn in order to know the halacha. And it's not enough to pray just for achieving a cause of some sort. But the learning and davening need to be from recognizing that that is all our existence. Our all existence is based on the fact that we, on a daily basis, need to connect to Hashem. And we are, at that moment, representative of Hashem on this world. By the fact that we connect with Him, then He shines through us. And then we call Or Lagoim. And so, even when we trying to influence other people and try to bring other Yidden close, even though that we see that they don't have any inclination to do so, that every Jew love in his essence, he loves Hashem, and this is his craft, the true craft, and this is his job, to reveal that feeling from the concealment to the revelation, until he himself will feel all this powering coursing through his body, the recognition that Hashem is with him, that Hashem is in him, that he's part of Hashem. And then he will feel also, not just know, but he will also feel that he believes in Hashem and want to serve him. So as you see from, that was a short mimer of the Rebbe, and we see here that davening is not just something that you just say. You say it, you finished, yeah, I finished davening, I finished putting tefillin, that's it, we can go. No, that's not the point. The point is that I said it many times, to set priorities, to understand what's important in this world. What's important in this world is not comfort, is not to have a bigger car, a bigger house, more money in the bank than everyone. It's nice. It's comfortable. It's very good. There's nothing wrong with that. But it shouldn't be the ultimate goal of a person. If you merited to have that, good for you. Enjoy it. Help other people. Use it as a tool to help other people. But that is not the purpose. The purpose is to connect to Hashem. The purpose is to be a conduit of Hashem in this world. And when you do that, you see that it's not enough that you left your limitations and you ran out of it, because then sooner or later it's going to come and try to reach you again, as the Egyptians try to reach and capture Bnei Israel again. You have to learn how to be free. And in order to learn how to be free, you need to understand what's important. You need to understand what's your purpose. And what's our purpose in life is not accumulation of wealth. It's not being popular. No, our sole purpose in this world is to reveal godliness in this world. It's to lasot dira batachtonim. Why? Because this is the will of Hashem. This is a taiva of Hashem. On a taiva, there's no questions. Thank you very much for joining with me. Hope that everything is understood. If you ever have any questions, you can always leave a comment. I will be glad to. And please subscribe. Tell your other friends to subscribe also, and click the notification bell so you will know and don't miss any videos that I make. Thank you very much and good night.